Hello, 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 and welcome to our time with Miss Anderson. In this video, we are going to talk about hatching and cross hatching to create value in your artwork. Now, the very important thing that I want you to get out of this is that you are going to use hatching and cross hatching only. We're going to do three different kinds of value scales, which I will review at the end of the video. You will copy this worksheet exactly and try to reproduce a range of values. So, what is shading and why do we do it? Big question mark for that one. Shading shows value in artwork and contrast in artwork. The simplest form of shading is using a pencil, and this is why we have a range of different art pencils. Here we're starting with the HB pencil. It's a nice medium pencil. Most important thing I want you to learn from this is to use the angled stroke. So I'm using nice tight angled strokes with a nice relaxed hand. These are angled strokes right here, meaning that they are basically straight lines. However, the way I'm doing them, I'm building up the value by keeping them close together. There's different ways, and you can come in and cross hatch. This is called cross hatching, when you come in and go the opposite direction. And as you can see, every time you do that, you're building the value. Another way is just plain old pressing harder with your pencil, like I just did in that last bit. But at a certain point, the pencil will start to lose its power to create darkness, and that's when you need to grab that darker pencil. Like this one, for example, is an ebony pencil. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab my lightest pencil. This is my 4H or my 2H. You're starting to see now a contrast between this light pencil and this dark pencil. And that's where we start to build up the values that are in between. And that's the HB pencil. The HB pencil is a nice medium darkness pencil in which you can use both pressure and building up of the pencil to create what you need. Switching to the H pencil as I start to want to get the image lighter. Switching now to the 3B to even out that nice gradient that I'm trying to create with these angled strokes. This is shading with the side of the pencil or smudging, which in my opinion really just makes your paper look dirty. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you how this can be used in application. We are not going to draw shapes at this time, but I do want to show you the purpose of creating a range of values. So first I'm going to go ahead and create two circles right here with my lighter pencil. This is called transcribing a circle, where you use a square and chop off the corners to transcribe the circle right inside of it. On these two circles, I'm going to use hatching and cross hatching. Sometimes students are hesitant to believe that hatching and cross hatching can create a true set of values, but I am going to show you that they can. Here is my source of sunlight, my very awesome sun right here, okay? And now I'm going to go ahead and shade these spheres in. As the light is hitting it, it will hit it into planes of light. We will come back and review this later as well. I'm going to start always with my middle pencil using my angled stroke. So now I'm going to come in with my lighter pencil and start to fade out in these different sections here. My light pencil and my dark pencil are what is really going to enable me to create this range of values. Now we see the big gun, the dark side. This is welcome to the dark side. This is the 6B. So now I'm starting to get those shadows in, but those shadows would not look as great without the nice medium and light values that I'm including in here as well. And we're seeing this sphere start to become a sphere versus a circle. There it is, the 6B coming back in, really darkening in that shadow, getting that range of values. Figuring out where the cast shadow is going to go. So now adding in that cast shadow, darkening it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and use what I like to call the smudge technique. Using the side of the pencil, I'm going to add in some of my value, and then I'm going to do that nice finger blending technique that seems to be kind of popular. Now, I'm not saying that you can't smudge on occasion, but I do believe that the angle strokes are the best way to create a series of values because they work with the planes of the shape itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best job to try to shade this in. Just smudging along here, using my different pencils, using my finger, erasing some of the smudge marks to really get the true idea. Even so, looking back at this, you can see how the planes of the other sphere are just so much nicer and cleaner. And in just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and pan away from this a little bit so that you can see how much better it's going to look. Okay, I'm just going to come in and add a little bit to my sphere. Can always refine these beautiful planes of light, and we'll be working on this soon. Adding into my shadows and even taking that light pencil to add in some background value, as I like to call it. So this is the beauty of value in your canvas will be this value worksheet. Now, the most important part that I want you to notice is that you are creating 3 separate value scales. Number 1, you are going to create a separated value scale. It will look like this. They're in blocks or chunks, just like this final one. Number 2, you are going to create a gradient, also colloquially known as an ombre value scale, using angled strokes only. And number 3, you will create a value scale using cross hatching, using strokes that go in one direction and come back and cross each other. The second 2, you will fade. The first one are completely separated. There should be at least 5 separate boxes. In here, go ahead and follow the worksheet exactly using your light pencils, your medium pencils, and your dark pencils. Doing a creative definition for value. First, using hatching to create a separated value scale. Second, using hatching to create a gradient faded value scale. And third, using hatching and cross hatching to create a gradient faded value scale using your light, medium, and dark pencils throughout the entire exercise.